When it comes to public speaking, we have limiting beliefs that are holding us back. And the worst part is that we don't even know they're holding us back until we find them, figure them out, and address them, ultimately destroying them. Now, this is the exact method I used to help me identify my negative beliefs, make them positive, and then simply just, well, make me believe them. And that's helped me speak in front of crowds the size of 2,000 people a couple of times, win a few public speaking competitions, and get some standing ovations. So it's quite simple. Essentially, I've written out a bunch of negative beliefs I had, ones you might have, some common beliefs that came to mind. And then I'll just walk you through what we're going to do here. So let's see how quickly I can do this. In the title, in the thumbnail, in my notes here, I said 8 minutes. So let's see. So, what are some negative beliefs we can have around public speaking? Firstly, it's difficult. I'm not interesting enough. People are too judgmental. I'm not good enough. Takes too long to get good. I don't have time to learn this. They'll think I'm cringe when they see I'm trying to get better. Some naturally have it. I don't. And I can't afford to mess up this opportunity. And so, what we're going to do now is we're going to take every single negative belief we can list. I want you can maybe pause the video or just watch it through if you want. Maybe pause, switch off the phone, and then just think about it. Grab a pen and paper, sit down, and genuinely think, what are all your negative, limiting beliefs holding you back? What are some thoughts you have on public speaking that do not serve you well? And then think of all of them as you can. And then literally, bar for bar, immediately go and think of the opposite or positive alternative. Okay, go and address each one directly. Go and destroy each one directly. So, it's difficult. Public speaking is easy. I'm not interesting enough. I am interesting. People are too judgmental. People are warm and welcoming. Don't worry, this isn't some hippie woo stuff. I'm going to show you how it works out. Okay, I'm not good enough. I am good enough. Takes too long to get good. I see results quickly. I don't have time to learn this. I make the most of the time I have when it comes to getting better. I'm naturally a good speaker, or I can improve just like any skill. I will have many opportunities to speak. One F up doesn't define me. And so once we go and we write out the positive belief we would need in order to be a good public speaker, the positive belief we would need to succeed, think of it like, if I believed all of these things to be true about public speaking, would I win? Okay, so anything that a winner would have, just go and write it all out. And then what you want to do, I put question marks there. I was just a little lazy to go and write out a well-constructed essay. I have them all written out here. I just didn't want to write it out on a board. And so I'll read them if that doesn't hurt your feelings or make you feel, hey, this guy didn't even want to put in the effort to write out a bunch of sentences for me. Hey, I drew little symbols here, okay? You know, here's the gas. That's where we make it liquid. That's where we really solidify it as an ice cube. So essentially what we've got so far is we have negative beliefs and we thought about it and made them positive. And now we want to go and take each one of our positive beliefs and add an emotion to it. And what adding an emotion does to it is it adds a completely different dimension, third dimension, 3D cube, to our sentence. So when we go and listen and hear an affirmation where we say, "Oh, I feel good," or "I am interesting," that's cool and all, but like when we add an emotion to it, it makes it so much more real. When we go and have an emotion added to it, it's almost like a memory which you can bring up. Does that make sense? So when you think of when you were running along the beach with your grandparents and you had ice cream and they were like lifting you up and stuff, it makes you feel warm, it makes you feel good. It brings up a past memory because that was real. So when we can just bring up that same emotion, that same feeling, that same feel good energy, it makes the sentence a lot more real in its nature. So this might sound like some weird hippie woo stuff, but it works. And let me cook and then you can evaluate if it works or not. So I feel so relieved now that I know public speaking is much easier than I thought it was. This makes me feel comfortable with every chance I get to speak. I find so much fulfillment knowing that I actively show an interest in the audience and people I come across. in turn making me more of an interesting speaker. This makes me feel valued and appreciated. So what we're doing is we're taking a positive belief and we're adding an emotion to it to make it, well, more real. And you really want to take time and effort to go and figure out if you had that, if you uh, if you were good enough, okay, if people were warm and welcoming, how would that make you feel genuinely? And you can't just go and AI, here's some positive beliefs of mine. Write out the affirmation for me, because it has to be, it is subjective. It has to be authentic to you. Okay. For me, if everyone was just warm and bubbly and happy, I'd be like, bro, get away from me, you weirdos. You know what I'm saying? But for you, maybe it's like, woo, yeah, rise to the occasion. I don't know, whatever. Maybe you love it. So we have different emotions to different beliefs and positive traits. I am so grateful for the warmth I receive from the crowd every time I speak. This makes me feel welcomed in every room I enter. I'm so grateful for my natural ability to radiate confidence in the moments I need it most. You see what I'm getting at? I feel at peace knowing that the path to improving my public speaking skills is worth every ounce of time I allocate to it. Knowing that my improvement has a rapid snowball effect proportionate to the time I put in makes me feel determined and disciplined. I will have many opportunities to speak. One F up doesn't define me. I feel so liberated knowing that, my character is not destroyed, or I don't know, my reputation is, there's people like right up against the glass. I had, and they're just staring at me while I'm speaking. It's kind of awkward. I feel so liberated knowing that, I'm not defined by my errors in public speaking, and that I have multiple opportunities to get better at the skill. For example, liberated would be the emotion there. So once we add this third dimension to it and emotion to it, it makes our belief, our sentence far more three-dimensional. It's got more weight to it, more depth, and there's a lot more substance to it. So what we want to do, and what I've done with this, I took my voice memo recording app on my phone, and I read out a bunch of in-depth affirmations, sentences with emotions attached to them. Okay. And so it's about 5 minutes long, just me reading. And every single night when I would fall asleep listening to that. I tried headphones and speakers. I just can't fall asleep because I like to sleep on my side. So I'll just grab my phone and play it on the speaker. And yeah, for the first couple of days, it's kind of hard to fall asleep. But then eventually you fall asleep and you wake up and you're listening to that. And so throughout the night, it's almost subconscious programming. You start aligning with this character. Okay, and so when you wake up, you want to do the exact same thing. When you wake up, immediately start listening to that. That's when I can put headphones in. I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth. That's when I'm listening with headphones to the affirmations. So it's when you're falling asleep and when you're waking up, you want to be listening to it. This is essentially how you reprogram your brain, bro. And this might sound like some weird bro science, like some hippie woo stuff you hear on Pinterest or whatever. And for the most part, you're probably right. But I'm not a scientist. I'm not here to explain the science behind this. I am simply someone who did that, applied it consistently, and over the course of about 2 or 3 years, I've reaped results. I've seen it, and it's almost scary because you do it every day for 2 years and you see nothing, and then you kind of forget about it. You stop doing it for a month or two. This stuff's rubbish. It's fake. I don't care. And then out of nowhere, you say a speech and everyone loves you and they clap. And then you go back to the affirmation and it's like, wait, I literally said I'm a world-class speaker and everyone loves me and blah, blah, blah. I literally said I feel confidence every time I go and speak because I've been in these situations numerous times, and that I have experience behind my confidence to really back it up. And then that makes you wonder, is this stuff really real or is it just by chance? So I don't know, bro, but I've used it. It's worked for me, and I recommend you try it out as well. There's just one more point I want to mention here. Yeah. So over time, the way we determine if this stuff's working or not is not necessarily the results. Oh, did I get a standing ovation? Or did I become Martin Luther King and become an amazing speaker who everyone quotes now? It's rather if to determine if it's working or not is just use how it's influencing your actions and behavior and your patterns. So if I would typically just go on the toilet and play video games on my phone, But now all of a sudden when I sit on the toilet, I have a book on storytelling. That is literally influencing the way I live my life. So that's how I would determine that it's working, because it's changing my character from this bum video game player to aligning it to this confident, magnetic, charming speaker, which I'm trying to become. So even if it's just a minor adjustment, it is ultimately adjusting it to that archetype. Does that make sense? So we end up picking up a book to read. Why? Because we actually believe that this works. We end up signing up for Toastmasters to speak. Why? Because we actually believe it's going to work. Would you listen to this YouTube video for the whole, however long it is, 10 minutes, if you didn't think you could be a better speaker? No. Would you buy a course if you didn't think you could be a better speaker? No, you wouldn't. Does that make sense? So we start doing all these things. Why? Because we actually believe we can do it. Does that make sense? We actually believe we can get better. We actually believe this is a skill. We actually believe that we can stand in front of 2,000 people and get a standing ovation. So that's the video. I am not here to explain the weird, mystical, metaphysical, whatever science behind it. I've just done this, applied it, and I've seen how it works for me. I hope you can do the same, and hopefully, my friend, it works for you too. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments or in the link in the description, because it's free and I can give you some personalized advice. And just take care and good luck with everything. Cheers.